Hello, my name is Samantha Ssullo, and I am a sales representative at Exit Realty in Gainesville, Florida. Today I will be meeting with Amanda McKelvey, a client of mine who needs a property that will accommodate her needs as she is a new agricultural business owner. Ms. McKelvey can be seen on an intent saleswoman who wants exactly what she needs for her business to be successful. My specialization in property that best fits those who are already in the agricultural world will make it easiest on Ms. McKelvey to receive her needs. I have access to a member of the Florida Cattlemen's Association whom I have spoken to extensively on what he believes the best layout for this new business will be. I have also spoken to an accredited horticulturist specialist who has pointed me in the correct location for this property for the livestock that will be flowing throughout the business. The two handling objectives I will be using in this sales call are agree and neutralize, which is where I use the point of something that this client has brought up. I agree, but I also neutralize that same point to better my sale. While neutralizing the point, I agree that it is a difficult point, but it does not hold any value in this sale. The next objective is the boomerang, which is where I use a negative objection in the sales made by the client and turn it around to meet my sales success. By using my client's idea, I make them believe they are correct, and that is very important in this sale. But I also attach my idea onto this, and while I attach my idea onto their correct idea, my idea becomes correct by association. Allowing the client to feel correct in this sale is extremely important. My closing strategy will be standing room only, which is where I bring up the fact that this property is not only on their radar, but it's on others as well, stating that if they do not act quickly, the chance of them owning this property will slip away, which also could take away the success of their business. In agriculture, the property really does make the business, so if they lose a property that has all their requirements, they could lose a lot of success. Thank you. Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay, so we just got back from the property that I was showing you, and if I remember correctly, your requirements were you needed 200 acres because you have 100 head of cows, which would give you 100 sets of cow-calf pairs.
That's correct.
You'd prefer a house on the property of at least 15 acres.
Yep.
Pasture for 4 horses was at least 25 acres.
Preferably.
And then you wanted cow pens on the property that you didn't have to build yourself.
Correct.
So from what you told me before on the 3 properties you've looked at, the first one would be mine on this value analysis. For all the properties, the price per acre is the same with $5,000 per acre. Now on my property, you would have a house on the property with 15 acres for just the house. And then for the other realtors, you did not have that option.
Correct.
So then on my property, you had pasture for the horses, which was actually 33 acres, which is over the amount that you asked for, which would give you more ability to rotate and not diminish your crops. So for the second property, that was not an option. And then on your third property, you had 10 acres as an option. But you wanted at least 25 acres.
It was a little low.
Yes. For cow pens, I gave you 2 acres of cow pens, which would give you an acre per rotating pasture. So you would have 100 cows in the first pasture, which is 200 acres, and then you'd have 2 acres for each of those.
So that leads me to the question, because that first pasture we looked at, the forage quality just wasn't up to my standards. So I don't know if that's something that we can negotiate the price on.
Absolutely, I agree. The forage quality of the first pasture was not up to par, but that is because after talking to my horticulturist specialist, he did mention that was a perennial plant, so that would be good for you to put them on when they're nutritive, like they need a higher nutrition. So when they're in calving season, you want them on that property, so that would be a fall place to put your animals, and that works well because you had 2 rotations. So the property we looked at, it had a spring one, and that would be where your cows were now, and that forage quality was an annual, which would have worked for nutritive value at this point of the year. Do you have any more questions? And then also we were talking about the cow pens, and in your last option, it wasn't an option for cow pens. And then for your second one, you did have an option of 1 acre, which is also
Well, I think the biggest issue is that my budget was only $1 million. You guys are coming in a little high, whereas the other properties are lower, which is enticing. I mean, it's $250,000, so
Right. And that's understandable. I understand that it is way over your price range, but at the same time, your other two properties you did look at did not meet all of your requirements. I meet your requirements and I also go above requirements. You have a house on the property which would, if you had to put a house on the other two properties, I would imagine it would be $250,000 at least, and you really don't have the room that you do on this property here.
now is there any way I can take this and go meet with my partner and figure out if this is within our price, if we can stretch our budget this far?
The problem with that being is that this property has other people's requirements as well. People are on my heels about this one. I gave it to you first just because you were the first to come to me on this property. But if you do leave today, I can't guarantee you that I will have this property for you later on.
So if I offer your asking price, are you going to open it up to other people? Or
No,
if
ma'am.
I give you, so if I say today and sign on the line, you'll give it to me for 1.25?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're sure about that pasture will be okay in the fall?
Yes, I'm positive. We have a accredited horticulturist here in the office. If you wanted to talk to him, he could definitely tell you that that is true.
And then how many more acres is the pasture for the horses there?
You wanted 25 and we have 33 acres, so it's quite a bit more.
Okay. Well, I think you give me no option. If I want to do this, I got to do it today. So I will come. I guess I will have to commit.
All right,
I guess
it's a
that's
deal.
a deal.